So we have four eminent panels, and today we are going to discuss on challenges and opportunities in construction. So we have Alex, a civil engineering graduate from Mysore University with 35 years experience in the field. He serves as the president of Southern Railway Contractors Organization and vice president of Indian Railway Infrastructure Providers Association. He was the state chairman of Builders Association of India for two consecutive terms, 2012 to 13 and 2013 to 14. He is the managing director of Perumal Construction Private Limited and also director of Metric Infrastructure Private Limited, undertaking many major bridge works. So welcome Alex to the team. So talking about Ramakrishnan P is a seasoned project management professional with more than 30 years of experience in infrastructure, construction, real estate, power projects, facility and community management. Presently, he is with DLF Limited, India's largest real estate developer as a group executive director. He holds an electrical and electronics engineering degree from PST College of Technology and Masters of Business Administration from Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil Nadu. Apart from his technical skills, he has a flair for setting up strategy, corporate planning, policy framework, supply chain management, and skill development. RK, as he is fondly addressed in corporate circles, is a good team leader and mentor for a lot of budding young professionals. So many young professionals who are here can be in touch with RK, and it will be really worth it. He loves traveling and spends his leisure time in reading books and listening to music. His working life has taken him to Middle East, Europe, CS and African countries apart from India. He is married to an engineer and with two daughters. One is a doctor and the other is an engineer. Now let me come to Sunil Kumar. Is a first generation businessman known for many innovations in the real estate sector. In 2007, he founded Assets Homes Private Limited, which has completed and handed over 84 residential projects across Kerala. Under his leadership, Asset Homes has become the marketing leader in Kerala with the highest received DA2 plus rating. An extraordinary entrepreneur, a futuristic engineer, and a true leader, Sunil Kumar has created a professional organization that was recognized as India's best professionally managed company in the category of 100 to 1000 crore turnover. Welcome to the meeting. Now we have V. Suresh. So if I talk about Suresh sir, it takes so much of time. He's a civil engineer from Anna University with experience of over 60 years in housing, urban and rural development, infrastructure and real estate sectors and sustainable development. Was former CMD HUDCO with all-round growth in housing, innovative infrastructure development, use of appropriate technology application for resilient built environment. He had a long stint with BIS dealing with formulation of standard codes and regulation in the built environment sector. He is the chairman of IGBC Policy, Advocacy and Government Relations, President Emeritus of Focus, Chairman of BIS Housing and Planning Committee, Chairman of National Building Code of India, and member of BIS Smart Cities Committee. He was past president of Indian Building Congress and national president of NAREDCO. He has received 22 awards and to cap it with CIDC Industry Doyen Award 2011, IBC Lifetime Achievement Award 2014, CIA Wildlife Achievement Award 2017, ACC Gaurav Award 2020, IGBC Hall of Fame Award 2023, Focus Lifetime Achievement Award 2024, and the Doyen in Civil Engineering Award 2024 by Institution of Engineers India. Give a big round of applause to Suresh sir. So with this introduction of the panel, I am straight away getting into the task assigned to us. Today we will discuss on challenges and opportunities in construction industry. And I would like to start my questions with Alex. Alex, what do you feel about the challenges in industry, especially in terms of issues faced inside? And I would like you to cover issues in government department, public sector and private industry in the next 3 minutes of time.
See, most of the infrastructure projects handled by government departments are not completed on time. except very few departments. What is the reason? Why people who are doing these contracts are not continuing in the particular department? This has to be examined. First of all, to make it to the right track, I feel that there should be an equitable contract condition, which will be good for the department, for the country, and the contracting firm who is taking up works. Now what happens is most of the contracts are one-sided. So somebody who are having a genuine problem is also not helped by the departments. That is the situation. So this has to be ordered. And for example, in most of the departments, land acquisition will be a problem. That also, finally, department will realize the contractor telling something else. And the utility shifting. Now, anyway, our minister, it has to be pointed out to the minister also today. Recently, a circular has come from the Kerala PWD. Then the liability for shifting the utilities also put to the contractor by giving a nominal money as charges. How can a contractor go and enforce a thing with another department? He will not be able to do things, get it done from the department where he has taken contracts. How can a PWD or other contractor can go and ask the revenue department to speed up the land procedure? How can they go and tell the electricity board to shift the necessary facilities? How can water authority be? How can he go and enforce it in water authority? So there should be some changes in the sector, having at least a quasi-judicial body in each district level, having right to say that this is to be done, and within the time frame, otherwise you will be held responsible. If that happens, most of the things will be solved. And this is the case even with the department. There are a lot of laws. I feel that no departments are asking you should have such and such qualified 8 engineers, 10 engineers in the site. But what is the normal qualification and the experience, technical improvement of any of the engineers in the department? Once they join as an assistant engineer, he will retire as a chief engineer. Till that time, no training will be there, no quality improvement will be there. I can say a lot of infrastructure projects are just delayed because of the design problems. These design problems can be identified before the tendering stage by only qualified engineers who can visualize things. There are a lot of things. So all this training to these engineers and the quality improvement has to be done. And when they come to the equitable contract condition, some of the public sector like Gas Authority of India, GAIL, they have put a precondition as weekly payment compensation if there is a delay in handing over site. That is a very good thing, because when a contract is based on a time frame, when the department fails to give the land or other facilities or drawings, department should be leveled. Then only contractor can succeed, and all the officials will take the responsibility and the projects will be completed on time. Like a lot of things, I think I am taking too much time. So when the next round comes, arbitration, otherwise things will go to arbitration, other litigations, and our country's money will be wasted for nothing. So all these changes has to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Two very important aspects has been brought in. One is the lack of coordination and clearance of documents affecting the progress, and the interdepartmental complication which is delaying the project as a challenge you are pointing out, and lack of engineers vision and the training needed in the industry is pointed out. Thank you very much for that. Now we move on to Sunil for an interesting thing, because he has come up with selfie apartment. So can you give a brief more about the concept of selfie apartment, and most importantly, the new real estate verticals which is coming, other than the apartments and the commercial area? What is your thought process and how it is going to change the industry? Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm living in Yeah. അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റുകളെ പറ്റിയിട്ടാണ്. സെൽഫി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് എന്നുള്ളത് ഞങ്ങൾ ബ്രാൻഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പേര് മാത്രമാണ്. ആക്ച്വലി നമ്മൾ ഇന്നത്തെ ഒരു റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ്സും വില്ലാസും കമേഴ്ഷ്യൽ സ്പേസും അല്ലാതെ ഉള്ള മറ്റ് പ്രോഡക്റ്റുകളുടെ ആവശ്യകത എന്താണോ അതിനെ തിരിച്ചറിയാനായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രമമാണ് ഈ സെൽഫി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റുകളിലൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ നടത്താൻ ശ്രമിച്ചത്. അതായത് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സാമൂഹ്യ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ നമുക്കറിയാം, കുട്ടികൾ 17 വയസ്സാകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാം മക്കളെല്ലാം വീട് വിട്ടിട്ട് പുതിയ സ്ഥലത്തേക്ക് പോവാണ്. അതായത് ഒരു പഠനത്തിനായിട്ടോ മറ്റു കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കായിട്ടോ വീട് വിട്ട് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അവരുടെ ഒരു മാരേജിന്റെ സമയം വരെയുള്ള ഒരു യാത്ര, ഒരു 17 വയസ്സ് മുതൽ ഒരു 25-26 വയസ്സ് വരെ അവർ ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് താമസിക്കപ്പെടുകയാണ്, ഒരു എൻട്രി ലെവൽ ജോബിലും ഒപ്പം തന്നെ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത്. പണ്ടൊക്കെ നമുക്കൊരു ആഗ്രഹമുള്ള കാര്യം ഒന്ന് ഹോസ്റ്റലിൽ പോയി നിൽക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്. ഇന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് ആ ഏജിലുള്ള കുട്ടികൾ ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ചലഞ്ച് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അവർക്ക് പ്രൈവസി ഇല്ലാതാവുകയും അവര് ഇഷ്ടമല്ലാത്ത ആൾക്കാരുടെ റൂം ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് വേണ്ടി വരികയും ഒപ്പം തന്നെ വൃത്തിയില്ലാത്ത അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർ വീട്ടിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നതിനേക്കാളും മോശമായിട്ടുള്ള ടോയ്ലറ്റ് ഫെസിലിറ്റീസ് ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ടി വരികയും സേഫ്റ്റി ആസ്പെക്ട്സിൽ പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാവുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ഇത് അഡ്രസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ സ്റ്റുഡൻറ് ഹൗസിംഗ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സിംഗുലാർ ലിവിംഗ്, ബാച്ചലർ ഹൗസിംഗ് എന്നെല്ലാം പറയുന്ന ഒരു പുതിയ വെർട്ടിക്കൽ ഉയരുന്നത്. അത്തരമൊരു അപ്പോൾ ചലഞ്ച് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നമ്മൾ ചെറിയ സ്പേസിനകത്ത് വളരെ കൃത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസൈനിനകത്ത് ഒരാൾക്ക് ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് താമസിക്കാവുന്ന വീടുകൾ ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ള ചലഞ്ചോട് വരികയാണ്. ആ ചലഞ്ചിനെയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ സെൽഫി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ്സ് എന്നുള്ള കോൺസെപ്റ്റിലൂടെ സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ശ്രമിച്ചത്. ഇതൊരു 96 സ്ക്വയർ ഫീറ്റ്, അതായത് 12 ഫീറ്റ് ബൈ 8 ഫീറ്റ് മാത്രമുള്ള ചെറിയ അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് യൂണിറ്റ് ആണ്. വേറെ യു ഹാവ് ദ ബെഡ്റൂം, യു ക്യാൻ കൺവേർട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ടു എ സ്റ്റഡി റൂം ഓർ ഓഫീസ് റൂം ഡ്യൂറിംഗ് ദ ഡേ ടൈം. ഇറ്റ് ഹാസ് ഗോട്ട് ആൻ അറ്റാച്ച്ഡ് ടോയ്ലറ്റ് ആൻഡ് it has got a small kitchenette, it has got the waste management facility, and it is fully air conditioned, and it is can be opened by finger thumb impression. So it is safe, secure, private, and at the same time you have everything inside the apartment which is required for a single person. അതായിരുന്നു സെൽഫി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത് ഡിഫറെന്റ് റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് വെർട്ടിക്കൽ എന്നുള്ള നിലയിൽ സിംഗുലാർ ഹൗസിംഗ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ഹൗസിംഗ് ഒരു പുതിയ കോൺസെപ്റ്റാണ്. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മളൊരു ലൈഫ് ലോങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളുടെ ജീവിതം നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരു എൻട്രി ലെവൽ അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റും അത് ലക്ഷറി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റും എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഒരു 55 വയസ്സ് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ മുതൽ നമ്മളൊരു സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ് സ്റ്റേജിലേക്ക് കടക്കുകയാണ്. സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ് ആണ് രണ്ടാമത്തെ ഒരു പുതിയ വെർട്ടിക്കൽ ഓഫ് റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ്. അതിന്റെ ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ മുതൽ മറ്റുള്ള പ്രോഡക്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്. ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ മുതലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം തന്നെ ഡിസൈൻ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്, ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്, ലൊക്കേഷൻ സെലക്ഷൻ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്. ഈ നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്നതിന് ആവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള വളരെ എക്സ്പെർട്ട് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രൊഫഷണൽ സർവീസ് ഏജൻസികളെ ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്. ഒപ്പം തന്നെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലുമായിട്ടുള്ള ടൈപ്പ് ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്. സോ ഇതെല്ലാം ചേരുമ്പോൾ ഒരാളുടെ ഒരു ഏജ് ഒരു 55 വയസ്സ് മുതൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ജീവിതാവസാനം വരെയുള്ള സമയം എത്രത്തോളം സുഖകരമായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും എന്നുള്ളതിന്റെ ഉദാഹരണമായിരിക്കണം സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരാളൊരു സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ് ഹോമിലേക്ക് കടക്കുമ്പോൾ അത് അദ്ദേഹത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള ചിലപ്പോൾ എൽഡർ ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി അപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് മാത്രമായിരിക്കും. Maybe after a few years it will become a senior home. Then it can become an old age home. And finally it can become an assisted living home. അപ്പോൾ ഒരേ വീട് തന്നെ ഒരാളുടെ പ്രായത്തിനനുസരിച്ച് മാറുന്ന സ്വഭാവം പ്രദർശിപ്പിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു അവസ്ഥ വരികയാണ്. അവിടെയാണ് ആ ഡിസൈൻ എക്സലൻസ് വേണ്ടത്. കാരണം ഒരു ദിവസം രാവിലെ the moment he realizes that he needs somebody to assist him, he got paralyzed എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ബൈസ്റ്റാൻഡർക്ക് കിടക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള കട്ടിൽ മേടിക്കാനായിട്ട് പോകാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കില്ല. അവിടെയാണ് നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ആർക്കിടെക്ടിന്റെയും എഞ്ചിനീയറുടെയും ഒക്കെ ഒരു ശ്രദ്ധ വരുന്നത്. ആ വീട് ആ സമയത്ത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ റിക്വയർമെന്റ് അനുസരിച്ച് രൂപം മാറാനായിട്ടുള്ള കഴിവുണ്ടാവണം. അപ്പൊ ഒരു കട്ടിലിന്റെ അടിയിൽ നമ്മളൊരു സ്വിച്ച് ഓൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഒരു 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 പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം കൂടെ വരികയാണ്. ഒരു ബൈസ്റ്റാൻഡർ കിടക്കാനുള്ള കട്ടിൽ അവിടെ നിന്ന് വിട്ടുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ബെസ്റ്റ് തിങ് ഹി ക്യാൻ ഗെറ്റ്. അപ്പൊ അത്തരം കൃത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസൈൻ ആസ്പെക്ടുകൾ ഇൻകോർപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് വേൾഡിൽ നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും നല്ല പ്രൊഫഷണൽ സർവീസ് ഏജൻസികളെ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലുമായിട്ട് ടൈപ്പുകൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇത്തരം സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ് ഹോംസ് നിർമ്മിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗ് ഹോമിന്റെ അസിസ്റ്റഡ് ലിവിംഗ് സ്റ്റേജ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഫിസിക്കൽ അസിസ്റ്റൻസ് മാത്രമല്ല, അതിപ്പോൾ ഡിമെൻഷ്യ കെയർ ആവാം, ക്രിട്ടിക്കൽ ഇൽനെസിന് ശേഷമുള്ള ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ കെയർ ആവാം. ഇതെല്ലാം ആക്ച്വലി പല പല ഡിവിഷൻസ് ആണ്. ഈ സീനിയർ ലിവിംഗിന്റെ അവസാന കാലഘട്ടത്തിലെ ഡിഫറെന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാൾക്ക് ഡിമെൻഷ്യ പ്രോബ്ലം വരാം, ഒരു ഓർമ്മക്കുറവ് വരാം, ഒരാൾക്ക് ഒരു സൈക്കോളജിക്കൽ ഇഷ്യൂ വരാം. ഇതെല്ലാം ടേക്ക് കെയർ ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ ഡിസൈൻ മുതൽ അതിന്റെ സർവീസ് പാർട്ട് വരെ വളരെ വെൽ ഡിഫൈൻഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞത് വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ട് ഈ സാധാരണ വീടുകളും ഫ്ലാറ്റുകളും പണിയുന്നതിനപ്പുറത്ത് റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് പുതിയ പുതിയ വെർട്ടിക്കൽസ് ഇങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞു ചെയ്യണം. ഇപ്പോൾ ടെക്നോളജി പാർക്കുകൾ പുതിയൊരു റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് വെർട്ടിക്കാണ്. അതിൽ നേരത്തെ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ പാർക്കും IT പാർക്കും എല്ലാവർക്കും പരിചയമുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ബയോടെക്നോളജി പാർക്കുകളും ലൈഫ് സയൻസ് പാർക്കുകളും എല്ലാം ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ലൈഫ് സയൻസ് പാർക്കുകളുടെയൊക്കെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പ്രത്യേകത എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, ഞാൻ ഹൈദരാബാദിലെ ഒരു ലൈഫ് സയൻസ് പാർക്ക് സന്ദർശിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഒരു ദിവസം 4 ലക്ഷത്തോളം എലികളെ വിൽക്കുന്ന ടെക്നോളജി പാർക്ക് ഇരിക്കുകയാണ് സാധിച്ചത്. കാരണം എലികളെ വളർത്തുന്ന പാർക്കാണ് അത്. ഫോർ ദ പർപ്പസ് ഓഫ് മരുന്ന് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള എലികളെ വളർത്തുന്ന ടെക്നോളജി പാർക്കുകൾ, ലൈഫ് സയൻസ് പാർക്കുകൾ. അപ്പോൾ പല 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 പുതിയ നീഡുകൾ മാർക്കറ്റിൽ ഡെവലപ്പ്, ഇതെല്ലാം റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് ആണ്. എല്ലാവരും പറയും എന്ത് ബിസിനസ്സാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, പലരും പറയും ഞാൻ ഷോപ്പിംഗ് മാൾ നടത്താണ്, റീറ്റെയിൽ ബിസിനസ്സാണ് പറയും. ആക്ച്വലി ഇന്നത്തെ റീറ്റെയിൽ മാളുകളെല്ലാം തന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ ലുലു മാൾ പോലത്തെ മാളുകളെല്ലാം ചെയ്യുന്ന റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് ആണ്. കാരണം നമ്മൾ താഴത്തെ സ്ക്വയർ ഫീറ്റ് വെക്കുമ്പോൾ അവർ ഷെൽഫിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ ഫീറ്റ് വെക്കുന്നതേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആ ഷെൽഫിൽ വയ്ക്കാനുള്ള വാടകയാണ് വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നത്, അല്ലാതെ ആ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് വിറ്റിട്ടുള്ള ലാഭമല്ല എടുക്കുന്നത്. ഈ പല മാളുകളിലും സംഭവിക്കുന്നത് ഷെൽഫ് സ്പേസ് റെന്റാണ്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ആ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് അവിടെ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് എത്ര സ്ക്വയർ ഫീറ്റ് സ്ഥലം വേണോ അതിന്റെ വാടകയാണ് അവർ വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നത്. പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് വിൽക്കുന്ന പൈസ വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നതെല്ലാം സിസ്റ്റത്തിലൂടെ പോകും. ബട്ട് വാട്ട് ദർ ആക്ച്വലി ഏർണിംഗ് ഈസ് ആ ഷെൽഫ് സ്പേസിന്റെ വാടകയാണ്. പല വലിയ ബ്രാൻഡുകളും പല വലിയ മാളുകളിലും സ്പേസ് എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത് അവരുടെ പ്രസൻസിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്, അവരുടെ ബ്രാൻഡ് ഡിസ്പ്ലേക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. അല്ല അവിടെ സെയിലൊന്നുമില്ല. ദർ ആക്ച്വലി ഡിസ്പ്ലേയിങ് ദ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് ആർ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് പ്രൈസ്. നമ്മൾ പുറകോട്ടേക്ക് പോയി നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷനുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള ഇത്തരം ബിസിനസ്സുകൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പലപ്പോഴും അതിന്റെ ആക്ച്വൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള പരസ്യമല്ല ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ദേ ആർ ഓൾ ആക്ച്വലി ഡൂയിങ് സ്പേസ് സെല്ലിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ അത്തരം ഒരുപാട് സാധ്യതകൾ ഇന്നത്തെ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അതെല്ലാം ഒരു നമ്മുടെ കൺവെൻഷൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള റിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റ് ബിസിനസ്സിന് വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ടുള്ള പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങളും പുതിയ സമീപനങ്ങളുമാണ്. അത്തരം ആശയങ്ങളും സമീപനങ്ങളും എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു കേരളത്തിലും ഇന്ത്യയിലെല്ലാം വളരെയധികം ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാലഘട്ടമുണ്ട്. സോ ആസ് എ ബിൽഡർ ഓർ ആസ് എ ഡെവലപ്പർ നമ്മൾ ആലോചിക്കേണ്ട പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം വെച്ചാൽ വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ചേഞ്ചസ് ഇൻ ദ കറന്റ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ട്രെൻഡ്സ് ഇൻ ദ കറന്റ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി, അതിനനുസരിച്ച് എങ്ങനെ മാറാൻ സാധിക്കും എന്നുള്ളതാണ് കണ്ടെത്തേണ്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നത്.
താങ്ക് യു സുനിൽ. വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ആസ്പെക്ട് ആണ്. വാട്ട് ഈസ് നീഡഡ്, വി ഹാവ് ടു തിങ്ക് ഡിഫറെന്റ്ലി ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് റിക്വയർമെന്റ്. താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച് ഫോർ എൻലൈറ്റിംഗ്. ഇനി അടുത്ത് രാമകൃഷ്ണൻ സാറിന് ഒരു ചോദ്യം. നമുക്ക് വളരെ ഒരു ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആസ്പെക്ട് ആണ് മാൻ പവർ റിലേറ്റഡ് ഇഷ്യൂസ്. ഇപ്പോൾ അത് നമ്മുടെ സൂപ്പർവൈസറി ക്രൈറ്റീരിയയിലും ട്രേഡ്സ്മാനിലും how it is going to affect, and what is your thought process in the system?
India is growing about 9.2% CAGR of, and we are expecting about 1 trillion sales by 2030 by only the real estate sector. Now, if you look at all the visions of government, whether Amrit Kaul or Vikshit Bharat or whatever we talked about, in the next 25 years, they were talking 2047, they are talking about at least India should reach about 25 trillion should be our GDP. Now, if that is the case, in the next few years, we have to grow at rate of about 8 to 10%, whether we like it or not. Now, if you take the whole world, including some of the countries which is nearby, infrastructure and construction will be the real growth if you wanted to achieve this number. So, opportunities is immense in this industry. At least I come from a real estate industry. Today, if you look at in the last 2 years, the top 10 real estate companies have sold more than 2 lakh plus crore sales. 2 lakh plus crore sales. If you take about 40% is the construction cost, you imagine the amount of value which has to be developed, which has to be delivered in the next 2 to 3 years time. If you take a horizon of about 4 to 5 years. So the growth, absolutely there is no problem in India, and there is a tremendous amount of an opportunity. This I am talking only of the real estate. Railway is growing, road sector is growing, and we are talking about 20 kilometers per day. Railways is growing, so growth is, there is no problem in this country. Now the challenge. See, today my problem is not selling. My problem is delivery. I am not able to get contractors to deliver. That too large projects, 2 million, 3 million square feet of projects, I don't have a contractors. I've exhausted all the top companies in this country. Top companies you can able to do. Point number 1. Point number 2, even if I get some big companies to do it, my major problem is the source of manpower which they can able to bring. Today, unfortunately, I think Mr. Suresh is also here. I think he can take it up with the government. Neither government nor the developers nor the contracting communities, he is not addressing the fundamental requirement of a building construction, which is the manpower. I don't know, today if you go to ITI, if you can able to pinpoint a course which is talking to construction, I doubt. There is only one with a chain survey, maybe today there will be a total station, there is only survey course is there and there is an electrician course. There are 27 activities in building. If you take from substructure to the finishing, you broadly take about substructure, you take about MEP, if you take about finishing, if you take about envelope, facade, fenestration, whatever. Today, there is no mechanism to create captive manpower. Also, look at a very contradicting things. India has got about 7% is the unemployment rate. Today, if you go to any developer or any industry for that matter, we say we don't have a manpower. You take about 130 people, about 6 to 7%, the amount of people available unemployed, and we don't have that. Until otherwise we do a change, it is very difficult. This industry, in my view, is not a great technology. It's not a rocket science, I don't need to do it. Get into ITI, get into Polytechnic, get into engineering, even I don't need a cream. I don't need somebody who can able to take 90%, 92%, no. I want somebody about 60, 70% mark who passed out. If I train them an activity, I think that will completely change the industry. I think my request is today, if an engineer, if a laborer working, he cannot even know that the labor is working properly or not. That is the scenario today. And today, 80% of the workers which is working in our construction industries are agricultural workers. They don't know anything, but if they don't have agriculture, they will come and work for you. There is no loyalty, there is no absolutely, if somebody can able to hold a screwdriver today, he is a plumber. Somebody can able to hold some of the equipment, he is a mason. That's a scenario. And today, if I talk to a contractor and he say, when they ask me, he will just go to the road, he will bring me some 50 people and he will do it to me, sir, 50 RPA. I'm telling you, the productivity is so low. I'll tell you, before concluding, I'll tell you, there are two similar projects of one in India, one in Gurgaon, and a similar project we mapped it in China. My contractor was Larsen & Toubro. Larsen & Toubro is one of the largest contractors. We used 30%, not 30%, 3 times extra plant and machinery for that project compared to the China counterpart. Similar kind of project for study. The manpower we have used is more than 30% of the manpower also we have deployed. But I am telling you, my productivity is 20% of the Chinese counterpart. The project which has been delivered in 3 years there, we took about 7 years to deliver. So that's the scenario. Until otherwise you address the fundamental requirement of supervisory manpower and the workmen, this industry is going for a major setback in the near future. Government has to change, developers has to change, and the contractor has to change. At least all three put together, if we can able to do captive manpower, I think today South is not producing any of the laborers for construction industry. I don't know, seldom we get it. Wherever we go to the site, you will only get from Northeast. You imagine a scenario, if a Northeast also developing at the rate of about 8 to 10%, people will not come here. Then we are getting for a major problem. Until otherwise we address the captive manpower which is available in this area, attract them. We need some way to attract them to get into this industry. I think we are heading for opportunities are immense, opportunities are among us, but unfortunately the delivery capability has to be really has to be questioned. Thank you.
Thank you. Very important aspect, because certification of skill power, management training them, and that is not happening. And India government has to come up with a policy. As builders also, we have to have this system established that skilled certificate people are doing the job. Then you need only 35% of what is really used if we compare the productivity chart across the other countries. So definitely a very valid point. Even though we have a lot of human resources, we have big quantity, but quality is a big problem and definitely has to be addressed in. Now coming to Suresh sir, to start up with, you were with this for so long. You were in the board formation right from the starting, and if you look back from the formation of National Building Board, you were there. What do you think the future of board formation in the country, and when are you going to catch up with the developed nations? I want you to start with that.
I don't want to be pessimistic. Indian construction industry has been doing phenomenally well in spite of what RK has said. All sectors on the road development, on the railway sector, port development, all the residential, commercial, other asset class of building development, especially last about 2 decades and last 1 decade, there has been a phenomenal amount of jump in this particular sector. And I think a lot of outstanding projects have been implemented by in the civil engineering. Not only the building sector, but infrastructure sector in a very large way. And everybody is watching, the world is watching of good projects being completed over there, be it on airports or roads or flyovers or bypasses or most difficult ones under the tunnel. Railway projects in particular, I want to place on record. Some of the outstanding railway projects have been, with major challenges have been completed, which has not been done even in China. I'm talking about the latest Chinam project over there, in railways over there. I think it's catching up. But I agree with Ramkrishnan that one of the major critical areas is going to be on our delivery system. Now, delivery system would cover manpower on one side, machinery on the other side, and also the whole important requirement on the skill development. We have still not got like what China is doing, or Korea is doing, or even Israel is doing, on using only skilled, certified construction workers. We have 5 crores construction workers in this country. 5 crores, mind you. 50 lakhs of people, 500 lakhs of people are only in the construction sector, second largest only after agriculture. But can you believe that the number of people who we can call? That's why the productivity component, I agree with you. Wastages, rework, and all that. If you had done all of them through, see, if you are able to have, today if you want to go and do a project in Singapore, or in Malaysia, or even in they will not permit one construction worker at the site unless they are trained, certified by somebody. The construction industry's training center or construction development board will ensure. Even people who are going from here to some of these eastern countries over there, far eastern countries, they have the training centers being done in Chennai. Or outside, fast-track training is done. So that is going to be one. None of our construction contract document, one of the major problem is our construction contract document never ever say that all the construction workers, skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled, these 3 levels are important. They should be trained and certified. We have not put that condition. Now, recently NHI is trying to put it. Metro people are trying to put that, but because we have to create that opportunity over there. Then once the demand is there, supply will come. Then everybody will be trained over there, and therefore that particular aspect is where we'll have to catch up in a very large way, and that is where the productivity component is there. For example, now the competition between the construction sector is going to be with Singapore has got a fantastic one where each one is trying to compete with the other. They got the CONQUAS rating system, construction quality assessment system rating. I hope you know that. CONQAS. Every builder, whether it's coming from China or people from Malaysian one, or coming from Korean side or any side, Taiwan or whatever, they're going to compete with each other, and each one trying to say, "But that's a building I have done." So on a 100-point rating, if you're on structural, non-structural, the point which Sunil was telling is an important one, because they're all wanting to have good quality construction coming over there, and they have done so beautifully. Previously, maybe 20-30 years back, on a 100-point rating, have been structural, non-structural, service and finishes. These 4 components are there on 100-point rating. After completion, they have a rating being done called CONQUAS rating: construction, quality, assessment system. It's primarily to bring in competition among construction entities, contractors, to see that I built this particular one. That's the building I done. Now you'll be very happy to know it's got a very high level of, which was only 60 or 100 earlier, about 25, 30 years back. Now they are getting 81, 82, 83. It's a fantastic one. It only shows that at the level of materials being used on quality control and quality assurance. You mentioned on quality also, you mentioned on that. There are strict conditionality there on procurement of material, the type of the construction practices being done. No type of second-class work being done, only the top quality work on each. I told you, items are structural, non-structural, finished and services, and safety. Safety is another major component on, we are missing very, very badly on those particular area also. But in spite of that, the things are gearing up. There are a large number of lead contractors, names of which Ramakrishna has rightly said. Some of them are doing amazingly well. We can be happy. But then, that's not the general trend. If you go to Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, the average constructions over there, we require a lot of things to be pulled up in this particular area. There's no need for pessimism. I think what you require over a period of time. Chandrababu Naidu, when he was the Chief Minister of Andhra earlier, now of course he has come back to Andhra, but half of that, he tried to put that 1% of the contract value should be set apart exclusively for training all construction workers. So the construction, National Academy of Construction Workers Training Institute was set up over there, so that over a period of time in contract document, you'll put at least 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% should be only trained, certified workers only can come. And then OSAS requirement are also very important. Also OSAS has become an important one where the construction workers do have the right level of equipment, personal protective equipment, safety aspects are taken care of in a very large way, least amount of accidents come at the site. Now we keep on hearing of accidents literally every alternate day in one site or the other. So many people buried below or underneath the body during construction phase I'm talking about. So therefore all the three components, ISO 9001, ISO 14001, OSAS 18001 are the three major components of systems that you have. They did a great job. And they are called the Integrated Management System Company, construction entities. To deal with all those areas, you got to raise your bar level higher. No.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's a very important
Don't be
aspect.
so I do not look at pessimistically. There are a lot number of good things happening, and the construction the boom is really taking that. The construction boom is taking place in a very large way. We are not having the right level of delivery system the way we want to happen in terms of time, cost, and quality on all the three levels.
Yeah, and very important aspect which you brought into the notice is that pre and post assessment and rating of the contractors, which is happening in countries like Singapore.
Yes.
It's a very important thought process which we have to share with the entire team. Now I move back to Alex for a thought process of what are the new materials coming up in construction, and as a new materials coming up in construction, and as a person representing the contracting industry, what is your message for the younger generation who want to take a career as a contractor?
One of the main issues faced by most of the contractors are the scarcity of building materials, good building materials, especially good building materials. And especially for the aggregates and sand, it is related to the policy of the state governments and central government regarding environment and a lot of issues. There may be a lot of things, but as such in Kerala, nothing is moving. Because even Kerala is not producing even 30% of the aggregates and sand required. So that is why the prices of the material are shoot up. So that has to be attended, that has to be addressed. Second thing, use of precast concrete products. Now I think you might have seen in the news that our Gadkari ji has taken a decision to change the minimum percentage of precast concrete products from 25 to 80% in NHA. Of course, now he is aiming at conservation of environment because products will be manufactured in a very safe place which will protect the environment. Second thing, it will ensure good quality with even lower materials because just you all will be knowing that just putting some cement and aggregate and sand, it will not be a good concrete. So a good concrete has to be made in a good environment where control is there. So that is a good point. And third point is that there will be an aesthetics, because the factory finished products will have a better look. All the structures finished will have a better look rather than doing again polishing, painting or plastering and all. And we can say even we feel now all the lot of bridges on the way. Maybe some of us also may be doing the same bridges, but it is not having a good look as in other countries. Why? When you use good concrete precast products, the look also will improve. So that is all very relevant, and I think
one more point on opportunities. What is available?
Definitely. See why a lot of NHI projects are coming up in Kerala. How many of our contractors are able to take a projects? Why we are not able to do it? So we need to form a suitable consortium or whatever it may be. Even our Suresh Chairman was discussing with this few days back. Our people have to come up with good consortiums wherein we will be capable to take larger audio works. Because I'm telling you that small and medium contractors will not be existing after a few years. That's a reality. So we have to think that those who don't want to grow, better to stop. Because they will only have liabilities from the bank. So if you want to grow, you have to find out different ways. Being all youngsters, educated, well educated, most of them are technocrats or management experts. How to think in that line? We'll have to get into bigger place, bigger volume, we'll be successful.
Thank you. Thank you. Very important point. The importance of precast industry and the collaboration. You have got it down. Thank you very much for that. Now, talking about collaboration, I have seen that Sunil has done a lot of collaboration with Taurus, how many different countries, different multinationals across. So, what is your experience? What is the difference you see in the construction in our place and the collaborators you have worked with? So I have gone through your profile where you have Taurus was there, Colombia this was there, from a UAE you have a collaboration. So what is the difference you are seeing? That is one question. And second question, I have seen that you are a good writer also with lot of talents and things. So how the construction industry have helped you shape up in your literature activities? So these two questions you can answer together.
We were fortunate to get associated with many multinational construction companies and developers like Taurus Holdings USA. Taurus Holdings USA is supposed to be the second largest developer in USA. When they came to Kerala for doing the Acropolis Phase 3 intervention, they selected us as the residential partner. So that was a collaboration. Similarly, we were able to get into trade with Columbia Pacific Group, which is supposed to be the first senior living community care company in the world. When they started in India and they searched for partners in Kerala, we were able to get in touch with them and we were able to tie up with them for a collaboration. So similarly, as you said, we were able to get the grid properties. We were able to work with many multinational companies, and what I understood from the interaction is that you have to be transparent. The first and foremost thing you require is you have to be transparent in all your activities. You have to be very, very carefully become transparent to make people understand that you are true, you are honest, and you are transparent. That's the first thing. And many companies always look at certain 5-6 parameters. Generally, the first one is this quality. Quality illade oru product develop cheyan ningal shramikkanenkil nobody will come and touch you. So the first criteria is always quality. Second is your ability to deliver on timelines. നമ്മൾ കമ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഡേറ്റുകളിൽ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് ടൈം ലൈനിൽ തീർക്കാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്ന രണ്ടാമത്തെ കാര്യമാണ്. മൂന്നാമത്തെ കാര്യം, ആസ് റൈറ്റ്ലി സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആർ സെറ്റ്, സേഫ്റ്റി ആസ്പെക്ട്സ്. The problem with us is that whenever you try to impose something on safety at your side, the contractor, subcontractor, all these people will come and complain to you that I cannot work at this rate. If you want to implement the quality at safety at site, give us more rate. So safety is accepted as a cost factor, not as a culture. But if you go outside and meet people, they always treat this as a first cultural point of the industry. So you have to be culturally motivated to become work under a safe environment, not just for the workers, but also for the neighbors, also for the people who are going to reside there, also for the total community. So we have to create a safer environment. So that's the next aspect. Another one is costing. When you talk to them, you have to be very clear what is going to be your final cost. You cannot go tomorrow and tell them that there is a revision, there is a revision, there is a change, so I have to change. So there's a budget came, so there is again a change. So that is not at all acceptable. So whenever you want to do or work associate with a good multinational company, your cost has to be very clear, your estimation has to be very clear, your BOQ, material quantity has to be very clear. So these are the main aspects they always look at. But coming to the new generation time, ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കാലഘട്ടത്തിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ പുതിയ ആസ്പെക്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വേറെ പലതുമാണ്. കാരണം ഒന്ന്, യു ഹാവ് ടു ബി ലീഗലി 100% കറക്റ്റ്. ഒരു രീതിയിലുള്ള ലീഗൽ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളിലേക്കും ചെന്ന് ചാടാനായിട്ടോ ഒരു രീതിയിലുള്ള സ്റ്റാറ്റ്യൂട്ടറി അഡഹറൻസ് ഇല്ലായ്മയിലേക്ക് ചെന്ന് ചാടാനായിട്ടോ ഒരു മൾട്ടിനാഷണൽ കമ്പനി ആഗ്രഹിക്കില്ല. സോ യു ഹാവ് ടു ബി 100% ലീഗലി പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ഓൺ യുവർ ടാക്സേഷൻ പാർട്ട് ആസ് വെൽ ആസ് ഓൺ യുവർ ലാൻഡ് പാർട്ട് and on your construction contractual part. That is one more thing. Last one is environment. Sustainability and environment is considered the most important thing for, because construction industry ആണ് environmental ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ construction industry ആണ് environment വിരുദ്ധമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. നമ്മളാണ് മൈനിങ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, നമ്മളാണ് മോശമായിട്ടുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എൻവയോൺമെന്റിനെ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പെർസെപ്ഷൻ ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ they are all very careful that it has to be a environment friendly construction, sustainability practices has to be followed on site, wastage of material has to be minimized. So these are the learnings which we got from the association with multinational companies.
Yeah, very important 6 points has been brought in. One, quality. Second is the time frame, safety, cost aspect, and environmental issues. And most important, the legal documentation aspect. Thank you, Sunil, for that. But I had one more question for you, which you didn't answer. Your talent in the literature, is there any connection with the construction activity which you are doing?
ഈ സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗും പാട്ടുമായിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ബന്ധമുണ്ടോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പാട്ടുമായിട്ട് വലിയ ബന്ധമൊന്നുമില്ല എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ കഴിയും. പക്ഷേ ഞാനിപ്പോൾ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് വായിച്ചൊരു കാര്യം വെച്ചാൽ ഈ ശ്രീകുമാരൻ നമ്പി സാർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഗാനരചിത ഒരു സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറാണ്. ഞാൻ പഠിച്ച തൃശ്ശൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ പഠിച്ച ആളാണെന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ സാധാരണ നമ്മുടെ സിനിമാ ഗാനങ്ങൾ എഴുതുമ്പോൾ പണ്ടൊക്കെ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഗാനം എഴുതിയതിന് ശേഷം ആ ഗാനത്തിനുള്ള ട്യൂണും ആ ഗാനത്തിനുള്ള സിറ്റുവേഷനും അതിനനുസരിച്ചുള്ളൊരു ഫ്രെയിമൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മൾ കാണാം. തൃശ്ശൂരായതുകൊണ്ട് പറയാം, ഈ ഇന്നത്തെ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ട്യൂണാണ് ഉള്ളത്. ട്യൂൺ കൊടുത്തിട്ടാണ് പാട്ട് എഴുതുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ട്യൂൺ കിട്ടി അതിനനുസരിച്ച് പാട്ട് എഴുതുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഒരു സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീകുമാരൻ നമ്പി സാർ എന്നൊരു ചലഞ്ച് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഈ പത്രായൻ സാർ ഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്ത തൂവാനത്തുമ്പികൾ എന്നൊരു സിനിമയാണ്. തൂവാനത്തുമ്പികൾ തൃശ്ശൂർ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത സിനിമയാണ്. തൃശ്ശൂർ സ്ലാങ്ങാണ്, തൃശ്ശൂർക്കാരുടെ വളരെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട സിനിമയാണ്. ആ സിനിമയില് ഒരു ഗാനരംഗമുണ്ട്. ആ ഗാനരംഗം ആക്ച്വലി ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഒരു ചലഞ്ചാണ് ആക്ച്വലി. ഗാനരംഗം ചിത്രീകരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. യു ക്യാൻ സീ വിഷ്വൽസ്. അതിന് ട്യൂൺ ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞാണ് നെഹ്റുവിനെ പറ്റി പാട്ട് എഴുതുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ആക്ച്വലി സംഭവിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ആർക്കിടെക്ട് പണം വരച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു, സൈറ്റ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു, എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞു. സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് പണിയാൻ പറയാൻ പോലത്തെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ് ഞാൻ ഫേസ് ചെയ്തതാണ് പുള്ളി പറയുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ എന്നിട്ടും ആ ഗാനത്തിലെ വിഷ്വൽസില് അതിലെ ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് നടക്കുന്നതനുസരിച്ചിട്ടും അവർ മൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നതനുസരിച്ചും അവരുടെ ലിപ് മൂവ്മെന്റ് അനുസരിച്ചിട്ടും നേരത്തെ ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെച്ചിരുന്ന ട്യൂണിനനുസരിച്ചിട്ടും ഇദ്ദേഹം ഒരു പാട്ട് എഴുതി. ആ പാട്ട് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഹിറ്റായി. തൂവാനത്തുമ്പികളിലെ ഒന്നാം രാഗംപാടി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഗാനത്തിന്റെ പിറവിയുടെ പുറകിലുള്ള കഥയാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. അപ്പൊ ഒരു സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഏറ്റവും ക്രിയാത്മകമായിട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഏറ്റവും നല്ല പ്രവൃത്തി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ക്രിയേറ്റിവിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം തന്നെയാണ്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ ആ ഡയറക്ഷൻ നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങുന്നു മാത്രം. മേ ബി വേറൊരു ഗാനരചയിതാവിന് ഇപ്പൊ വയലാറാണെങ്കിലും അത്ര പ്രശസ്തരായിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് പോലും ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒരു പക്ഷേ ഇത്തരമൊരു സ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള റെസ്ട്രിക്ഷൻസിനുള്ളിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് നല്ലൊരു സൃഷ്ടി നടത്താനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കുന്നു. ഒരു വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യമാണ് സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയർ ആയിരിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള സമയത്ത് തന്നെ ആ കൃത്യത നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രവർത്തനത്തിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരാം.
Thank you very much. A very motivational aspect of bringing the talents of the civil engineers is connected with the other aspects of arts also has to be looked into. Now coming back to Rameshwan sir, two important aspects I would like you to discuss. One, technology usage in construction, and what is the strategy, planning, development, evolving in construction?
Now, the entire industry is moving towards how I can able to use at least about 40% of the manpower to use the 100% of the output. That's a challenge which we are all facing. Now, if we divide this into, as I was mentioning earlier, divide this into four: structure, services, finishing, and the facade, envelope. Envelope is another major area to do. So the structure today, one is, extensively we are using formwork, which has been completely changed from the conventional. At least people like us, I don't know whether we are using anywhere the conventional formwork which we are using it. I don't think so. I'm completely using an aluminium formwork, or I use a jump form. I used to get four days slab cycle for a project which is about 4,000 or 5,000 square feet floor plate, or it goes to about 8 to 9 days slab cycle which we do continuously. A 36 buildings of 20 story we have delivered to the end customers in 18 months in a project in Mumbai.
Sir, can you repeat that, because this is a very important message for the end contracting? Just repeat that numbers. I want the message to go in.
36 towers of 20 story building has been there is no basement, but handed over to the end customers in 18 months time.
So that's the speed
That is the
India
speed
is evolving.
Number one. Number two, I'll tell you, the one biggest problem in this industry is attracting talent. We have to start thinking a little change. It is not a construction industry. I am giving you an opportunity work like an industry. A guy who comes with an aluminium formwork, I wanted to get a high level, a fitter who can able to come and do the industry. I'll also tell you, L&T has got a training division in Chennai for fitters for the factory. They give stipend 5,000 rupees. There are 5,000 applications per 100 seats. Now, if I give anybody for a shuttering foreman for this, I don't think nobody will be there in the queue. Right? So this is one area. Number two, what is the fundamental things which is taking time in this? Reinforcement. The moment when you start fixing the reinforcement at the site, cast in situ, again there is a challenge. Other than concrete, everything has to go off-site. So that is the only way. Of course, still there are challenges in zone 5, zone 6 areas. Now already zone 6 also has come into India. It is a challenge, especially on the connection points and all that, but still, there are a lot of opportunities. Today, I don't do any slab, I don't do tie at the site, I do the carpet tying somewhere else, take the complete one and bring it. All the cages, even on the column reinforcement, I do it here and do it. That is one way to do it. Let's move a little to the services. Now, as a civil, I'd only worry about three things. Maybe the fourth thing too. Reinforcement, concrete and formwork. There's no other fourth thing. Maybe a waterproofing come into the picture. The moment we come to services, I've got 5 trades, 5 different activities. See, in India, no project gets delayed because of structure. Of course, there is a little delay. But the moment when it's moved to services and finishes, all the projects goes for a delay. Now, how to overcome that? Again, offsite manufacturing. Today, most of the electromechanical, you just imagine a shaft. You can completely do the plumbing line or an electrical line. If at all you are doing it in a pipe, it can be do an offsite and you can do the junction connection. It is possible. 60, 70 story buildings which has been implemented is working out very well. And also on the floor, say for example, if you come up, housing is a little difficult residential, but on the commercial project it is possible. So we do everything is an offsite manufacturing on a controlled atmosphere. Then the time, neighbor, nothing is disturbing you. This is the second way to do it. Finishes again, except 2 or 3 items of your flooring and ceiling, you have to do it the site. All your dry works, manufacture outside, bring even your lobby finishes and all that, like you design. The only challenge in this is you have to start thinking of designing much earlier. Much earlier. If you do. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to do.
Thank you very much. So the future is like that. So everything is manufactured and bring it and connect it. And then the technology has to be adopted. So very important point from the future of construction, alternative and the strategic point. Now I come to Suresh sir, because of the scarcity of time, I need 5 questions from the audience. So there are 2 questions for you. one, you are an advocate of the green building revolution, always talk about the sustainability. Second is that I have seen that most of the disasters connected with India, wherever there was a problem, you being part of the HUDCO was there in the rehabilitation process and the immediate rescue process. So what is your experience, with your immense experience, you have gained a lot of things. What is the message you want to communicate to this audience before we start taking up the questions from the audience?
Maybe I'll take the second one first. That's an important point that you raised. India being a subcontinental it's a big country of subcontinental proportion there. Different 6,800 kilometers of coastlines, hills, so and so, seismic zones, heavy wind area. Your forces that are coming on the buildings are phenomenal large. The big challenge for the structural engineers to deal with the type of buildings and more so complex structures, number of stories, including basements and all that. So you got to, depending upon the situations there, you got to make the building to be resilient. The new word is resilience against all the natural forces, including the calamities, be it on earthquake forces below the ground or wind forces above the ground, cyclonic one, tsunami to come, etc., landslide, etc. So large number of issues are there, and latest, as for India, you are very closely associated with the BAI, I am aware, and your group is contributing well. The geotechnical engineers, the foundation engineers are very equally important on what is below the ground of the rocky or the sandy or the nature of soil that you have can create a lot of problems. So resilience against all the structural safety aspect is a very, very important component. And our own experience of having done the reconstruction program, be it the Latur earthquake or Gujarat earthquake or Orissa cyclone or Uttarkashi earthquake or the flood-related rehabilitation program, including tsunami work, really has taught us a lot of interesting lessons of the right level of technologies. Of course, part of the things the structural engineers will give solution, geotechnical engineers give the solution, but you should be able to incorporate that. I'm very happy. DLF says that if Delhi is seismic zone number 4, I will design it for seismic zone number 5. They put one level above so that your building cannot have a problem of the durability from the point of view of these particular areas. So many people do that, and now you must be aware, as against 5 seismic zone, the latest code that's going to come out, 2025, are going to 6 seismic zones coming over there. And they're adding, keeping in view the type of problems that are there in different parts of the country, the damages to different situations. So it's very necessary that you should be able to have the right level of association of structural engineers and civil engineers at construction site to deal with all disaster resistant technologies, to deal with all these, not only death load, life load, temperature effect, plus earthquake, wind, landslide, related components and important components. If therefore resilience against all the safety factors is one aspect, the second one is sustainability. I'm happy Sunil made a mention of that 2-3 times on that. And that's where the environmental issue comes in a very large way. You're all hearing about the climate change agenda, and everybody wants the developed countries want to have net zero carbon by 2050. I don't know how many people are really aware. We are already in 2025. China, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam want to have net zero carbon by 2060. India has decided for good reasons for 2070 because India has added from 100 crores to 145 crores in 20 years time period. Whereas in all the developed countries, population is coming down, they don't have to build new things. Whereas we have to build for this additional 45 crores of population, new houses, new offices, new schools, new hospitals, new roads, etc., etc. So we can't achieve that particular thing over there. So we are decided to do that. So therefore, all the sustainability element is important of all natural important in terms of the river, water, the energy, the water management, waste management, energy management. There's nothing to do with structural safety. So resilience is over. So the next component is sustainability. So resilience and sustainability are two sides of the same coin. I can have a very, very safe building. 100% safe building. We're standing 100 years, 200, but get the least sustainable from all the energy, environment, and all the. And I agree with Sunil on that. So that is an area which has got to be added. According to me, resilience and sustainability, two sides of the same coin. Together they will bring value. So you should have strong structural engineering team, including all the people to make it green building and green built environment, to save water, to save energy, waste management efficiencies to be brought. That's what is making big cities change. What is the difference of Singapore and all our cities, because we are failing on those areas which is not been done. So a lot of interesting things are there. So we got to cover both these things of resilience and sustainable development to be together to make the right level of integrated approach to construction. And fortunately, solutions are there. The National Building Code will cover on the resilience and the Green Building Council and the rating that we have done. And I'm very happy, a large number of new buildings coming in within Kerala are also the rated buildings of a platinum or a gold, because they're saving energy, they're saving water. Their projects, all of them are rated for the green building rating. But why are they doing? Because they are able to save water, they are able to save energy, waste management efficiency is there, good quality of life is emerging out of that, green cover is increasing, the urban heat island effect is not there. So all these are cumulative one on which I can't tell it in 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we got to deal with.
Yeah, very important two aspects, sustainability and resilience are the two vital aspects we have to look into. As we are running short of time, I would like to get 2-3 questions from the audience, because I believe that this interaction won't be complete unless and until we get the question from the audience. Can someone give a mic to Chandramohan to ask the question?
Am I audible? Yeah. Kamahan, Project Center, the former state chairman. And my question is to Mr. Sunil. In his talk, Mr. Sunil said that the safety should be our culture, it's a part of construction culture. But while saying that, he made a sarcastic smile, and I feel it is convicted contractors claiming extra rates. Do you think that safety can come without any cost? A safety helmet or safety shoe or everything, the rates you know. So my question is, why don't you add safety items as a separate items in the contract agreement, so that you can monitor it very well? So otherwise, a general statement in the contract condition that safety will be on the head of the contractor will not do any purpose. So that question can be answered. That problem can be covered only when you can incorporate the items of safety in the contract document. What is the take on that?
Safety എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു കോൺട്രാക്ച്വൽ ഒബ്ലിഗേഷൻ അല്ല. Safety has to be part of your culture. നിങ്ങളൊരു കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ കോൺട്രാക്ടർ ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, നിങ്ങൾ കോൺട്രാക്ടിങ് ജോബ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, that culture has to be imbibed in all the civil engineering contractors, that safety is a priority. Safety is a part of your life. Safety is your culture. Then your rates will be quoted only according to that. There is no question of getting extra rate or putting it as an extra item. It becomes obligatory and it's part of your culture. Your all contractors are doing with 100% safety only. Then everybody will be quoting the same rate. So it is included. That culture has not yet come. That's the problem. So somebody may quote a rate without safety aspects considering, whereas somebody will quote based on the 100% of safety aspects to be implemented. So when it becomes our culture, see, everybody do the same thing, then it becomes a part of our job. So I think that transformation has to happen, which organizations like BAI can take a lead, and we should educate contractors as well as builders that it has to be an integral part of the job. Then that issue is not there. That's my point.
So according to Sunil, safety should be a culture that has to be evolved among the organization.
What is the scope for reverse migration by improving these IT developments? I hope Mr. RK can give an advice on this.
No, let me put it. Anyway, most of the people doesn't like it. After 1991, when we opened up, the IT growth has spoiled the entire construction industry in this country. I'm very clear. Because all the cream has been taken over by the IT guys, all the people left over has come to the construction industry. Now the challenge is, this IT migration is creating a challenge. But also you mind one thing, all the engineering colleges all the IT companies goes to the engineering colleges, and they take only the cream in the system. They don't touch second level, third level. I'll also tell you, I developed or delivered more than about 70-80 million square feet of buildings to Infosys, right? The college where Infosys goes and takes people, we also go and take the people. What we do is, I made a point, whatever the Infosys salary which has been given to the people, I give 10% more so that I will attract the people. I mean, honestly, no IT companies in the last 15-20 years, they have increased their salary. 3.6, 3.7 lakhs per annum only they are doing it. Today I am telling you, if you can able to give 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 6 lakh rupees of starting salary for a graduate engineer, and you give them for a 6 months on a training of all your activities in building construction, and you give them a growth path, I am telling you, these people, you give a dignity of labor, and if you got a growth trajectory, I think people will stay. I take at least about 60 engineers every year. I take about 120 diploma holders every year, and I train them and I put them into the system.
So thank you, a very important aspect.
കൃഷി ചൂണ്ടിക്കാണിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പറയുന്നത് ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ പുതിയ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്, സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ്. ഒരു ലെവൽ എടുക്കാൻ പോലും അറിയാൻ പാടാത്ത ആളുകളാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ സർക്കാർ കോളേജുകളിൽ നിന്ന് പഠിച്ചുവിടുന്നത്. ഒരു ലെവൽ എടുക്കാൻ പോലും അറിയാൻ പാടാത്ത ഞങ്ങളുടെ സെക്ടറിലെ ഗവൺമെന്റ് സെക്ടർ റെയിൽവേയിലെ ഡിപ്ലോമക്കാരന് ചീഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയർമാരാവാം, പക്ഷേ 2 കോടിക്ക് മുകളിലുള്ള എഞ്ചിനീയർ ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് എഞ്ചിനീയർ ആകണം, ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ 40,000 റുപ്പീസ് കട്ട് ചെയ്യും. ഈ 40,000 റുപ്പീസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് 2 വർഷത്തെ ഒരു കോൺട്രാക്ടിന് ഇവർ എസ്റ്റിമേറ്റ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല. നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ സേഫ്റ്റിയുടെ കാര്യം കൾച്ചറായി കൊണ്ടുവരണം പറഞ്ഞു. ഈ സേഫ്റ്റി ആസ്പെക്ടിനോട് കാര്യം ഇതിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ചെറിയ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഇനി കൾച്ചർ, ലേബർ കൾച്ചർ. ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ ഗുരുവായൂർ പോയി, 50 കിലോമീറ്റർ ഒരു വണ്ടി പോലും ചലിക്കുന്നില്ല, ഓടിയാണ്. ഇനി ഒരു 15 ദിവസത്തേക്ക് ഒരു ലേബർ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ജനുവരി വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തമിഴ്നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഒറ്റ ലേബർ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, പൊങ്കൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. ഈ കൾച്ചർ മാറ്റണ്ടേ? പക്ഷേ ഈ ഡിമാൻഡ് കൂടിയതിന്റെ പേരിൽ ഇന്ന് 800 ശമ്പളമുള്ള നാളെ 1200 ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരൊറ്റ മലയാളി കാർപ്പൻട്രിയിൽ സ്കിൽഡ് വർക്കേഴ്സിന് തിങ്കളാഴ്ച പണിക്കിട്ടില്ല. ഈ കൾച്ചർ മാറണ്ടേ?
So you have to answer this question, and in this thing you have to sum up the entire process also, because I don't want to take further time. We have already 6 minutes exceeded, so we want to close this with the final summing up brought by Suresh sir, and I would like all the team to give a big round of applause for Suresh sir for the contribution he has done to the engineering society in the last 60 years. It's not a small task. Right from the beginning till today or till yesterday, we were together in some national building code revision, and all the code he knows by heart right from the starting till what is the revision happening now. Sir, over to you for the summing up as well as the reply to the question.
I think our brother engineer has, what's your name, sir? Name? Bere? Santosh Babu. He's raised a very important question. The engineers, civil engineers coming out of all the engineering colleges all over, including IITs for that matter, under the 4-year course which are now available, are extremely deficient. He very briefly touched how much amount of training has got to be done. L&T does it, DLF does, big builders do that. They are not employable. But they start dealing with construction only the day they come out of the college. They are not touched soil, cement, brick or sand, leave alone the level he's talked about. It's a very major issue. So therefore, you require, I graduated 65, around 60 years back, the 5-year course, and we do remember the substantial amount of thing at that point of time at site level application which are there. Now you got to bring back that particular component in a very large way, like your 1-year house surgency for doctors. And chartered accountants have to do minimum 1 year to work before you become a chartered accountant. Lawyers have to work with seniors. There is no urgency to give the degree after the 4 years. A minimum amount of 6 months to a year. At least the architectural course has got a 6 months practical program in the 4th year and 5th year to do that. So they got to be employable. They got to really understand. So large number of institutes are now taking civil engineers graduating out of many particular universities and colleges, including others at IITs and big colleges, going through a 6 months training program to get them industry ready in terms of those practical issues that he rightly raised, be it on level or even to make some small mixed site. leave alone RMC to be done, even to identify different soil or bricks or timber or whatever. They have never been taught at all. So that's an area where just like I told you, the skilled workers are a major problem, because you can't put them as supervisors or standing at the side to see to do the work. To do that, he should know what to ask or what not to ask. So it's a very major deficiency you have raised, sir. And it's an area which is engaging the attention. All India Council of Technical Education is also asking about this field level orientation to be given to civil engineers coming out of colleges. For practical orientation to be brought in is coming increasingly. Otherwise, the previous questions that he raised, most of it is going into the IT. They don't want to be the sun, soil and sweat and heat and all that. They're happy in an air-conditioned environment through a laptop opening, and they're happy with that. Many civil engineers do that also. But it's a difficult job to sum up program, but with outstanding contribution which has come, starting with Alex to RK on this side and Sunil in between, they really brought out the whole component of not only at the railway infrastructure development, real estate development at the local level, Sunil and his team is doing, and at the national level, you heard that 36 towers being done of 20 stories each to be done in about 18 months. That's also another extreme of excellence being done. That means possible. It's possible. But you also have problems happening of not able to get the workers. I myself, in major project in the Hiranandani is over there, we have a lot of systems there. But all these workers, when they come from outside, they have their own particular work. They come from agricultural work, they come from the construction sector. By the harvest time is coming, they all go back to, it's already happening in a big cycle. He talked about Pongal holiday, this holiday. So you have a major area of issue coming in that. So therefore, what is required is that the larger answer is to have a good amount of construction capabilities to be done. Many contractors are wanting to do that. See, Sunil really told that. They want it to happen over there, but there are problems happening. Those particular things in terms of the injection of the workers to become certification of the workers, trained workers to be brought in, contract documents to put that, to give incentives for good quality of work and not necessarily go to L1, L2, L3. So bad quality rate, when they quote below the particular thing, then you'll get bad quality work only, when you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, they say. So therefore, if you deal with a contract with much lower than the actual cost coming over there, you get a poor quality work. So you've got to really get large systems to be brought in line to a minimum level of ability to perform. Like you said, in terms of contract, I think railways do that particular thing. They are very, very keen to say not to permit it. Even NHA is also doing, they went into a small problem that is happening. It's a matter of integrated approach. And the last one, of course, between the work between resilience or safety related issue and on the sustainability related issue, an integrated approach is required. Or not, since the safety issues were discussed by the second gentleman, it is not structural safety alone. It's structural safety, health safety, fire safety, public safety, life safety, environmental safety, construction safety, all these are put together. So when you talk of safety as an issue, it is not what is the design officer on structural design to be safety and physically done, but it is translated by you at the site. How are you going to do that, incorporating that? So the construction entity people have to deal with all the safety factors at the site.
Yes, sir. Since time management is a vital aspect, I know we have exceeded the time by this thing, so you are not in a position to come back to you. I would like to thank the entire panel, Alex, Sunil, Damashri sir and Suresh sir for this wonderful deliberation. We have opened many points, but then there are systems, and to be on a positive note, even though there are challenges, Indian construction industry poses a great opportunity, and disruption is happening and the technology is changing. We have to catch up and move on. There is a lot of future for the industry is the message to take off. And I once again thanks the organization for giving us this opportunity to have this panel discussion. We are available here. We are open for questions. We will interact and make sure that you are carrying certain points which will be useful for your input in the future. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, all the members.